Welcome back, welcome back.
Yeah.
Hi my birdies, welcome back to my channel. I have recently been binging on audiobooks. I know people like prefer to just read them, but honestly when you hear like the dialogue, you can really just picture it. I've been reading recently After. So I was scanning through my Audible app and I saw this pop up. Shortly after, I did see that they were transforming this book into a movie, which most books turn into films. And I was actually like, okay, before I see the movie, let me see what the book is all about. I started to read this book, and what I got the feel from this is that automatically I thought it was going to be like 50 Shades of Grey. It was more so of like a mild down version of that. Like it's not no BDSM or I don't know what it's none of that chaining up people stuff. It's none of that. It's more so of just like a couple who is very messy. Like this is a messy ass couple. I just left the premiere for this film.
Chance to talk about the movie that they loved, they worked hard to make.
So this was on 42nd Street. It was very exciting because Anna Todd was actually there, and as well as Hero Tiffin and Josephine Langford. And Hero plays Hardin Scott and Josephine plays Tessa Young. So it was very exciting to see them, although a lot of young girls were there, and I probably think they were like 13 or 15 years old. And I was really confused because this book is more so very mature for them, which is why I questioned it when the rating for it was like PG-13, because how are you going to turn this book into a PG-13 film, because it's more so like 50 Shades of Grey. It should have been like rated R really. The book was phenomenal. I'm on book 3 at the moment, and I would have to say please read the book before you watch the movie. If you watch the movie without reading the book, you're going to be completely confused. The book was written by Anna Todd, and I know initially there's another version that it just concerns One Direction, but no, this is not that one. This is the newly adapted one. I have to download the track list for this film. I mean, the track was so good. All the songs were very much so like gave that old throwback Tumblr vibes. The aesthetic was very nice. I think the sceneries were very adapted very well. Her dorm room is something that I did picture when reading the book, and as well as Landon's father's house. I really did appreciate that they made that as close to the book as possible. This is about a young girl named Tessa Young. She is about 18 years old and she's going off to college for the first time, and she's always been sheltered by her mother, but now she's gonna experience being independent and free. I feel like in this film they morphed book 1 and 2 together and really just rearranged all the sequences of what happened. She comes across some, I guess, rebellious people, and she's very reserved, and her roommate Steph is this rebellious, tattooed, piercing, smoking weed in the dorm type of girl. So when she encounters Steph, she also encounters Steph's friends, and that's where she meets this guy named Hardin, and he creates this scheme to pursue Tessa. When she sees Hardin for the first time, Hardin is very much of the mysterious guy who, that's when I thought it was like 50 Shades of Grey, when he was like, oh, I don't date. So, you know, all those brooding type of guys are always the ones that say they don't date. She was really questioning herself about him, and then she ends up falling in love with him and he falls in love with her, but because he always is doing like some schemey type of trifling stuff, that breaks up their relationship. I thought I was gonna be very satisfied. I thought I was gonna be so happy because, you know, it's always exciting to see the live adaptation of a book, but I honestly am disappointed. Selma Blair's in this, and I loved her ever since. She plays it so much, like Legally Blonde. She's just a phenomenal actress, but I don't like the direction that they had her take for playing Tessa's mother, which is Carol. Carol in the book is supposed to be very headstrong. She's supposed to be very strict towards Tessa, and she doesn't take bull. And I feel in this one they try to make her be very loving, and it's not to say that she doesn't love her daughter, but she was very much so more lenient in this movie. Tessa, I feel like she wasn't really Tessa. Like, she didn't wear all, she wore one horrible outfit. They referred to her as a nun throughout the book. So I just thought we were going to see more of her like goofy outfits. Hardin, he wasn't really a rebel to me, because I feel like in the book he's really much of an asshole. Like, he curses all the time, he throws fits, he just damaging stuff, he always cursing at Tessa. Like, he's really verbally abusive and aggressive to Tessa. I mean, he doesn't hit her, he doesn't do any of that, but he always makes her cry. And I think in the book it was very much so more explicit, because you actually saw him like being all lovey-dovey to her behind closed doors, and then when his friends came around he really just pushed her aside and just didn't show any affection. And they didn't really adapt that to me in this film. One thing that shocked me was that Pia Mia plays Tristan, and Tristan was supposed to be, well, is Steph's boyfriend, but in this one they changed it to a girl. I don't have a problem with them obviously adding like a gay couple in the film, but to me it just kind of confuses the storyline, because they didn't clarify that Steph was bisexual anyway. I say this because in book 4 Steph actually says to Tessa that she never was her friend, she never liked her, because she was trying to figure out why did Hardin pick Tessa, and in all her jealousy she ends up coming with a plan with this guy named Dan. I just don't understand that storyline then, because if you're going to continue this in further movies you're going to have to cut that completely out, and that was such a shocker in that. Anna Sarkis plays Molly Samuels, and I see you, girl, you coming from Vine, you are really making the moves. I honestly love her. I love her playing Molly. Molly was honestly the only person I was excited for in this movie. She just brought more flair to it. She brought excitement. Ken Scott was played by Peter Gallagher, and he wasn't British, so I'm confused about that. So the big climax within the book is the bet that is revealed towards the end of it, where Tessa finds out that Hardin was with her just to steal her virginity, but she doesn't realize that, you know, he's actually fell in love with her. That whole ending towards this movie, it was no like built up emotion. It was nothing for us to really get nervous about, or it's like they just put this huge climatic scene and just threw it in there. They just said, no, we're not gonna ease you in it, we're just gonna throw it in there. It confused everyone. Overall, I just feel like a lot of things were rushed in the film. I don't think it was necessarily a great adaptation. I don't think that it did it justice, and I was confused watching it, and I read the books, so and even after I had left the theater, me and my friend ran into these girls, and they were like, I'm so confused, because nobody understood what was happening. If you didn't read the books, you are definitely going to be confused about what happens in the film. I don't think all the significant scenes that, you know, that were in the book translated into the film. And especially when they first kiss and when she first loses her virginity and all this other stuff, it just didn't morph well together for me, and it just left me very confused and conflicted. So this film comes out April 12th, and if you are going to see it because you read the books, make sure to like this video, comment below your thoughts. If you have seen the film, if you're just as confused, you can comment down below as well. If you like the books by Anna Todd, make sure to comment below which one was your favorite, which ones would you recommend for me to listen to. And I think I was more so just cringing because it was like 13-year-old girls in here that were like screaming every time Hardin walked. I mean, Hero is an attractive man, but he ain't somebody I'm gonna like be screaming for when he's walking. Like, that don't make sense. Just be aware, it may be some really young girls seeing this, especially because they made it PG-13. I just don't understand. And they cut out all the curse words. Like, I think that's what makes Hardin such a badass. Not just because he curses, but because it's the way he vocally just does not give a flying fuck. He does not care. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content. Follow me on my social media. My Instagram will be linked right here. As always, have a blessed day, and bye my birdies.